Chapter 3 Series. What sigma notation means? The symbol sigma means to add up. For example, the sum of r is equal to 1 to 4 of 7 minus 2r means start with r equals 1, then r equals 2, then r equals 3, then r equals 4, and then substitute each value of r into 7 minus 2r. So the terms are when r equals 1, 7 minus 2 multiplied by 1 equals 5. When r equals 2, 7 minus 2 multiplied by 2 is equal to 3. When r equals 3, 7 minus 2 multiplied by 3 is equal to 1. And finally, when r equals 4, 7 minus 2 multiplied by 4 is equal to minus 1. And finally, what we do is then we add them up. So 5 plus 3 plus 1 minus 1 is equal to 8. So the sum of r equals 1 to 4 of 7 minus 2r is equal to 8. What the different parts mean. In sigma notation, r is the counting variable. The bottom number tells you where to start. The top number tells you where to stop. The expression on the right gives each term. So start at r equals 1, finish at r equals 4, and each term is made from 7 minus 2r. The rules of sigma notation. Rule number 1. Constants can come outside the sigma. For sum of r equals 1 to n of k multiplied by f of r is equal to k multiplied by the sum of r equals 1 to n of f of r. This means if every term is multiplied by the same constant, you can move that constant outside. For example, the sum of r equals 1 to 4 of 3r is equal to 3 multiplied by the sum of r equals 1 to 4 of r. So instead of adding 3 plus 6 plus 9 plus 12, you can write 3 multiplied by 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is equal to 3 times 10, which is equal to 30. Rule number 2. A sum can be split into separate sums. For sum of r equals 1 to n of f of r plus g of r is equal to the sum of r equals 1 to n of f of r plus sum of r equals 1 to n of g of r. This means if the terms are added or subtracted inside, you can separate them. So here is an example. For the sum of r equals 1 to 5 of 2r plus 4 is equal to the sum of r equals 1 to 5 of 2r plus the sum of r equals 1 to 5 of 4. We then use rule number 1, which is all than equal to 2 multiplied by the sum of r equals 1 to 5 of r plus the sum of r equals 1 to 5 of 4. We now calculate each part. The sum of r equals 1 to 5 of r is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 equals 15. And the sum of r equals 1 to 5 of 4 is equal to 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 is equal to 20. So therefore, 2 times 15 plus 20 is equal to 50. Why this helps? Instead of expanding a complicated expression directly, you break it into simpler standard sums. For example, something like the sum of r equals 1 to n of 5r minus 2 can be rewritten as 5 multiplied by the sum of r equals 1 to n of r minus 2 multiplied by the sum of r equals 1 to n of 1. This is much easier to evaluate. Standard results you should know. The first one, the sum of 1s. The sum of r equals 1 to n of 1 is equal to n. Why is this? Because you are adding 1 a total of n times. So for example, the sum of r equals 1 to 6 of 1 is equal to 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is equal to 6. Now, the second one, the sum of the first n integers. The sum of r equals 1 to n of r is equal to n multiplied by n plus 1 in brackets divided by 2. For example, the sum of r equals 1 to 6 of r is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. And using the formula, 6 times 7 divided by 2 is equal to 21. The sum of squares, that's the third one. So the sum of r equals 1 to n of r squared is equal to n multiplied by n plus 1 in brackets multiplied by 2n plus 1 in brackets divided by 6. For example, if we have the sum of r equals 1 to 4 of r squared is equal to 1 squared plus 2 squared plus 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to 1 plus 4 plus 9 plus 16 equals 30. We can check our formula. 4 times 5 times 9 divided by 6 is also equal to 30. Now onto the final one, sum of cubes. The sum of r equals 1 to n of r cubed is equal to n squared multiplied by n plus 1 in brackets squared divided by 4. For example, the sum of r equals 1 to 3 of r cubed is equal to 1 cubed plus 2 cubed plus 3 cubed is equal to 1 plus 8 plus 27, which is equal to 36. Using the formula above, 3 squared multiplied by 4 squared divided by 4 is equal to 9 multiplied by 16 divided by 4 is also equal to 36. These are the main formulas used to evaluate more complicated series. Why these rules matter? Suppose you had sum of r equals 1 to n of 4r plus 2. You would not usually expand every term one by one. Instead, use the rules. Sum of r equals 1 to n of 4r plus 2 is equal to 4 multiplied by the sum of r equals 1 to n of r plus 2 multiplied by the sum of r equals 1 to n of 1. Now you can use the standard formulas, which is equal to 4 multiplied by n plus 1 divided by 2 plus 2n. So we're using this formula. This is much quicker than writing out all the terms. Series that do not start at 1. When the sum starts later, not at r equals 1, use sum of r equals k to n of f of r is equal to the sum of r equals 1 to n of f of r minus sum of r equals 1 to k minus 1 of f of r. What does this all mean? To get a sum from r equals k up to r equals n, first of all, find the sum from 1 to n. Next, subtract the part from 1 to k minus 1. For example, with sum of r equals 3 to 6 of r, use the rule sum of r equals 1 to 6 of r minus sum of r equals 1 to 2 of r is equal to 6 times 7 divided by 2 minus 2 times 3 divided by 2 is equal to 21 minus 3, which is equal to 18. Now we can check by direct addition, so 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 is also equal to 18. So the method indeed works.